Giggles is in the house. It's your Wednesday night edition of the Grove Show. What's going on? Theme Park, New England, Charles, Grovel, Lindsay, Danielle, and everybody else that's watching at home. And those that could be quiet, hiding in the shadows, by all means, either on Facebook or on YouTube. It's streaming on both. You could chit-chat, and, everybody's just chit-chatting in the mix, and everybody's hanging out and whatever. And by all means, jump on in, join the conversation, whatever. We can all be stir-crazy together. That's the benefit, right? I guess, right? While we're going through all this craziness, hopefully everybody's doing okay. Hopefully nobody's sick, dying, anything like that out in the world of crazy coronavirus. Because, we know. It's one of those things where we're all going crazy. I mean, I even went as far as crazy to buy a hot tub. So, I'm waiting for that to come in a week or two. And, probably like 10 days or so-ish. I don't know. What's the date? No. It's like 2 weeks. 2 weeks I should have it, ish. And then I'll just, somebody was saying I should do the Grove Show after. I think that was Zach. No, Cody, somebody was saying, hey, do after hours Grove Show in the hot tub. And I don't think anybody really wants to watch that. They might get some freaky people. Who knows? Maybe. It could be something we do. I don't know. I don't think anybody wants to see me sitting in a hot tub doing a Grove Show. You wouldn't be able to hear it anyway. You'd be hearing bubbles. Hey, tell Jay I say hello. And hopefully she's feeling good. And, So, this week, well, I shouldn't say this week because we've been doing it every day, whether we're doing Planet Coaster, we're doing, daily shows, So what we're going to do is, we're going to talk about Funtown Splash Town. We're going to talk about Walt Disney World. We'll talk about Knoebels, Knott's Berry Farm, SeaWorld. And yesterday, for those that tuned in when we played, was that yesterday we did Planet Coaster? I think it was. An interesting topic came up. Like, it was just for jokes. I don't think it would ever happen. But it was just something that kind of triggered something in the brain. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But I'm going to make a video on this as a what if. A what if scenario of Bob Iger taking over Six Flags. Like running it like Jim Reed Anderson. I don't ever see that happening, but it's kind of, and today when you're looking for content to build a conversation starter, what if the old CEO, Bob Iger of Disney, was to take over Six Flags? So we'll talk about that in a little bit after we get through some news and everybody's talking and we're getting people in. It's the chances of that happening are probably pretty much zero, but it's a cool thought. Just as a, hey, what if? Kind of like what they're doing on Disney Plus, like with the Marvel stuff, like the what if kind of thing. Like, what if? And what do you think could happen? Some of us have been talking about it on Twitter, and some people are like, oh, what do you want, $120 a day ticket? And then it's like, oh, well, if he did it and got it to $120 a day ticket, then obviously he stepped up. It'll never happen, but hey, you don't know. I think at this point, anything's possible. And we're also, some of the stuff that we're going to talk about, we've talked about this week, but some of you guys weren't around, because, there's a lot of essential people that, essential workers, and they just can't participate, join in, watch, whatever. So I figure by doing some of the bigger news topics that we talked about Monday and Tuesday, we could bring it on here and everybody can kind of chime in on what they want to talk about. So I figured we would do that too and just take it from there. Oh, there is. I didn't even look. Let me, it's probably bad. Oh. There's a couple things. Six Flags jumps 20% in the stock price. I probably should have bought it last week. I didn't buy any, so shame on me. But there's also a thing. Shareholder alert. Robbins LLP announces it is investigating Six Flags Entertainment Corporation for misleading shareholders. So shareholder rights law firm Robbins LLP announces that it is investigating Six Flags Entertainment Corporation for alleged violations of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, and whether the company's officers and directors breached their fiduciary duties, whatever the hell that is, to shareholders Six Flags owns and operates reasonably. If you suffered a loss as a result of Six Flags misconduct, click here. It said in June 2014, Six Flags announced the signing of its agreement to build multiple, because of the China stuff, I guess, multiple Six Flags branded theme parks in China with Riverside Investment Group, Ltd., touting the partnership as an opportunity to supercharge revenue growth. However, on February 14th, 2019, Six Flags shocked investors with its negative revenue adjustment of $15 million, citing delays in expected opening dates. Then on January 10th, 2020, Six Flags revealed it continued to encounter microeconomic challenges, resulting in no realized revenue for fourth quarter 2019. Finally, on February 20, 2020, the company announced a net loss for quarter 4 2019, citing charges of approximately $10 million related to the company's China development agreements and certain unrelated litigation matters. On this news, the stock fell to $31.89 per share, representing a 52% decline from its class period high of $66.69 a share. So that's not a good look on their end for sure. The suspended dividends, ended buybacks, increased revolver credit by $131 million to $481 million. I saw that as a news item to click on, so let me click on that. It says, withdraws full year 2020 financial guidance, suspends quarterly dividend, and postpones May 28th Investor Day. It says Six Flags, the world's largest regional theme park and largest operator of water parks in North America, today announced that certain of the company's revolving credit lenders agree to provide an incremental $131 million of revolving credit commitments to its senior secured revolving credit facility, increasing the facility from $350 to $481. The increase in our revolving credit facility, combined with actions we have taken to reduce operating expenses, capital expenditures, provide us with significant runway to operate in this uncertain environment, said Mike Spanos, the president and CEO. I'm extremely proud of our team members' commitment to successfully navigate through this challenging period. We are confident that it was going to suspend operations until beginning March 13th due to COVID-19. It says the preliminary first quarter financial results. The company expects total revenue in the first quarter of 2020 to be $25 to $30 million, lower than the same period in the prior year, with $9 million of the decline associated with the company's internal agreements. Prior to the park's closures, the company's revenue was higher than the prior year period, primarily driven by higher attendance and higher guest spending per capita. A significant portion of revenue decline will be offset by cost-saving measures the company implemented after the suspension of park operations. Prior to the park's closure on March 13th, the company paid $21 million in dividends, repurchased $51 million of its 4.875% notes due on 2024. The company also invested $53 million in capital expenditures in the first quarter. Then they talk about the COVID-19 response. And they said, since closing its parks in March, the company has taken the following actions to reduce operating expenses: eliminate nearly half its seasonal labor costs, position itself to maintain the low level until its parks reopen, announced a 25% salary reduction for all executive and salaried employees, and a 25% reduction in scheduled hours for all full-time employees to 30 hours per week, subject to federal and state minimum requirements, suspended all advertising and marketing costs, intends to eliminate at least 30 to 40 million of additional non-labor operating costs in 2020, including the increased investments the company announced in its fourth quarter earnings released to improve guest experience. Well, that's a mouthful, huh? And it says liquidity update. The company had cash on hand of $23 million and include the revolving credit facility net increase. Net of $21 million of outstanding letters of credit, had $420 million available under its revolving credit facility. The company expects to have ample cushion under its debt covenants until at least the fourth quarter of 2020. Even if the parks would remain closed through September, the company has no debt maturities until 2024. At this time, the company believes it has sufficient liquidity to meet the cash obligations until opening of the 2020 operating season. The company estimates that its net cash outflow during this time of operations fully suspended will be on average 30 to 35 million per month. I mean, not too bad, not too good. Kind of a little, you know. So, I guess it is. So I have a question for you on my thought process on how this, the haunt business will be affected by the virus. Now, what I can tell you about, I don't know about parks. Now everybody knows that I'm really good friends with a lot of people from Fairtown in Massachusetts. A lot of people know that. That's not a secret. It's not meant to be a secret. Everybody knows. So I talked to the building manager like daily. I mean, it's not always about haunted house stuff. We're just talking about stuff like, making sure we're okay, just checking in on each other. Cool dude. That's the Ellie Mae guy. But in any case, so I asked him specifically. I'm almost done with Extreme Fairs. I thought I was going to finish it last week. I kind of got in this funk. Like, I just didn't want to do anything. Like, I didn't want to make a video. I didn't even want to do the Grow Show. Just, when you get in that funk, it's just like, eh. But I'm like, no, it's to benefit me and everybody to kind of, the whole purpose of doing it every day was to help everybody get through this time. So I'm not going to quit on that. Just some shows may be shorter than others and whatever. But anyway, point of the story is I had to ask them about Extreme Fairs. Like, if the haunts do open, I said, what are you guys going to do for Extreme Fairs? Because for those that know, for those that have watched last year's version and little bits and pieces that I showed from 2 years ago, the full movie that we made, and then this year that I'm editing currently, from 2019 that I'm currently editing, I said, I'll give you the example. In 2018, they have the Bacon Brothers, which are the guys that dress like pigs. And a lot of the guys, they have like this pig head. They put the hand in and there's Vaseline on it and they go, kiss the pig, and you're kissing the pig. And they do most of the people, like I would say when we did it when there was 14 people, 7 people had to kiss the pig all in a row. Well, not, they grab people. Oh, you kiss the pig. Next guy, you kiss the pig. This year, I had, some of us got plucked out and had to play Guess That Meat. It was like a sponge with shit on it, and they would smush it on your face. And, there's stuff like that kind of will, I don't know, I'm most likely sure, at least for this year anyway, they're going to be like, yeah, no. They may never do that again. Well, I don't know about investor call. I read about the money and all that other stuff. Like the revolving credit and all that other stuff. So I talked to the guy and I'm like, well, what are you guys going to do when it comes to at least Extreme Fairs if you guys are open? And they said, we've got plans in place so that we can, if the haunt's open, that they can do it safely. They said safety is the number one priority because, believe it or not, the building manager has like that autoimmune, like he could be, if he got it, he would be screwed and could possibly die from the virus. So my belief is anything that's got a, putting things on people's face, rubbing on your face that have multiple, that's just not going to happen. I mean, will they grab you and throw you in a thing? Probably. How they're going to do it, I don't know, but I'm sure there's ways that they can do it. I'm not worried about what they can do. Now, we were just watching Trump speak. So this is kind of good that we're doing the show now. Before the show, Trump was on air. And, they're talking about when, the projection of death, while still a large number, has been downgraded to 61,000, they're predicting, instead of 100,000 to 240,000. Still losing 61,000 people, that's a lot. That sucks. There's still a lot of cases. I know Rhode Island saw a jump. Everybody's seeing jumps in the cases. I guess this is like critical week, I guess. So the point of all this with coronavirus, say between this week and next week is the top of the curve and it starts going down. Well, I don't know how long it takes to get to the bottom. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that. I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything about it. I just see what's on the TV when I happen to come across it because I don't seek any of it. I'd rather watch Tiger King 45 times in a row. But it looks like a lot of it. I mean, this is a serious thing. I'm not taking the coronavirus as a joke at all. But I do feel there was quite a bit of an overblown response, especially after hearing the data that they got and all that, and it was way overblown. It was a scare. I mean, you want people to take it serious. Maybe it could have been worse if they didn't do what they did. Nobody knows. The data doesn't show if it's actually working or not. Nobody knows. You know what I mean? We won't know the official anything data probably for months after. Once it's all done, they're going to dig through it, whatever. And, yeah, like I said, I don't know, but if this week and next week are the end, like the end of the majority and it just starts dropping, that's probably going to take another 2 or 3 weeks, right? So maybe the mid-May is when they'll start slowly reopening the economy, and then full blown. It might mess with the haunt season. I don't know yet. It's probably going to mess with a lot of stuff because, well, if some part, I mean, I've been seeing some water parks are not even bothering opening this year. They were like, yep, nope, we're not doing it. They're like, there's no point. Because nobody knows. Do I think parks will open? Yes. What's up, Coaster Box? When that is, I don't know. You might get maybe August, July, maybe. They might be opening right in the heat of when everybody's supposed to be going out, going rah rah shish boom bye, and a lot of people are going to be scared to go. We've talked about this all week. A lot of people. Well, I guess better than none. That that it was lie. I guess it's weird. That's why everybody's got to make sure that when you subscribe, that you click the notification bell. That's you know what I'm saying. Like, just make sure that you do that because you may miss out. Let's see if there's anybody that was taught. No, okay, so nobody. I only had the YouTube chat open, not the for Facebook. Because you can watch it on Facebook and you can watch it on YouTube, whichever you pick your poison. But again, there's so many unknowns right now for the theme park industry. Like, I don't even know what's going to happen with IAPA. I mean, IAPA should be fine, but might not be fine. I don't know. It really it all depends on when this thing ends. Yeah, again, I kind of agree with you, Lindsay. Like, haunt season, no, not really. I say no water parks. Set limits and increase restrictions. Might not fully heal till. I don't think any parks, not even Disney, is going to start. They're saying that this is going to affect the industry for a couple of years because people are afraid. Like I was joking with Jessica last night. I think it was even today. I was telling my father today too. I said, the second that Six Flags opens, so I can go, I'm going the day it opens. I don't care if it's a Tuesday, a Wednesday, whatever day it opens, I'm going. I don't care if the business just reopened, but I'm going. And I don't care if my own father fires me. I really don't care. Regardless of that, I think that what I had said to Jess was that I know that the first time it opens, she's not going to go. She's going to be a little scared. That would be cool, Greg. He says, I wish Six Flags made the face mask with Six Flags ride designs. Oh, Six Flags / ride designs on them for next year. Totally buy some. I mean, always keep in mind that you could have a second wave come back. Keep that in mind too. This thing could be seasonal. It might vanish. I don't know. I mean, I'm keeping politics and my beliefs and stuff of everything going on out of this because this isn't the platform for that. But I feel that a lot of people are going to be scared to go because I was saying to Jess, I'm like, oh, when I come back from Six Flags, you're going to be sitting outside the house with a hose and just hose me down before I even come in the house. Because I mean, I get it. Some people are going to be afraid. You're going to have the diehards like us that are going to go, I am going to the park. I don't care. I will take the chance. Because, I mean, when we go, the first day that any park opens, you're not going to have to, well, you're going to have to worry, but you're not. You know what I mean? Like, the park itself is going to be clean. Because you know they're going to be scrubbing the house. They were getting it all ready to be all set for when they were going to try to open normally. You know what, though? They might have to relax on that. I don't know. You know what I mean? Well, Coast Box, they were saying when I watched them today that I think we've hit the peak, and whatever this, I didn't watch the whole thing. I put it this way: I have anytime somebody posts anything about coronavirus, I don't care if I'm forward or whatever political thing it is, I hit hide, and then the people that's all they post about is stupid political whatever. I either unfollow them, unfriend them, or hide it, depending upon who it is, what it is, whatever, because I believe right now, keep the politics out of the bullshit. I don't care if you're for Democrats. I don't care if you're for Republicans. I don't care if you want Santa Claus to be your president. I don't give two flying shits about your political opinion, as nobody should care about mine. Focus on the virus, don't play politics, and that's what we need to focus on. So with the theme parks and the virus and how people are going to do, they may or may not let us wear masks in the park. I don't know, but that's a question that I'm going to add to anybody that we're doing it, because the Six Flags New England interview is pushed until a little bit closer to whenever they're going to open. And I believe for one or two reasons. Mass has a stay-at-home work order, so Jen's at home. Six Flags probably around the way was like, don't do it, but which could be BS because Jeffrey Siebert down in Texas did the same thing with those guys with the Texas TTS there, the Texas Thrill Seekers. It could be she's furloughed. It could be that she's got a 25% cut and doesn't want to hear it. There could be a rule in place that they put themselves that they don't want to do any media outreach because they're not doing anything. Nobody's talking to anybody. I mean, when I talked to Jen Mance at Great Escape, she's like, we're not doing any media outreach right now. Everybody's working from home. We don't care. And once we're back at it, we'll gladly do whatever you need to do. So it just seems like a lot of people are just like, I'm not dealing with it. I'm chilling at home. Leave me alone. I don't care. And there could be something like, when I talk to Jerry Brick, the interview is not going to be with Jerry Brick. It's going to be with Larry, the general manager over there. His name's I don't know what his last name. I think it was one of the guys, the guy talking during, well, one of the guys talking during Nor'easter. I don't know which one. Yeah, they closed all the parks. There's no parks open anywhere. I mean, what do you call it? China's reopening them, but in the United States, there isn't a park open. No Disney, no Six Flags, no Cedar Fair Park, no nothing. They're all shut down. Some, like I said, some water parks are not even opening this year. Some are going to still be opening. It all depends on when they open. Some water parks, if they're going to open like July, end of July, beginning of August, they may not even, it's probably to them, it's not worth a month and a half to open. Maybe it is. I don't know. They might be trying to do whatever they can to draw people in. And like Robble says, everybody's going to cut their capex. Six Flags is cutting or deferring 40 to 50 million. I think whatever attractions that are coming out for next year are going to be, whatever's under contract and paid for or whatever, they're going to do. Whatever they didn't, put it this way, any park that already has an attraction paid for, whatever, are going to get next year. if they didn't sign any deals with certain parks, they ain't getting. I don't think they're getting shit. Let's be honest. I don't think they're gonna get a thing because off that thing that I read about the money they're gonna be putting out, where they're not really taking anything in. Plus, they got that credit facility to kind of keep them going. They're not going to be wanting to spend much money. They're going to want to try and take it in. People are going to be scared to go. And I understand that, but trust me when I tell you, we need to, we definitely need to support the parks as best as we can once everything starts reopening and going. You know what I mean? A lot of parks, and we're going to go through that list, because Cedar Fair came out with, it was Cedar Point. I think most of this, I know for sure Knott's Berry Farm stopped the payments. I think the rest of Cedar Fair parks are doing the same thing. I didn't get to check it yet. I saw something about Cedar Point, closed indefinitely. And I think I saw something, you see the little blip, but you don't click the article. I ran out of time today to check out the article before the show when I seen it. That the possibility is, I think, and somebody can fact check me, whatever, but I think that the payments, if you have a Cedar Fair pass, or if, Cedar Point, I know Knott's for sure, but I think everything, and then I saw something about Michigan's Adventure not doing something yet, or making an announcement, or whatever. I don't know. But, again, don't totally bank on water parks being open. Don't bank on that. Don't bank on anytime soon parks opening. Like April, no go. I mean, all the parks said mid-April. And some parks have May. Some kind of have a May date, but it's not really for sure. Okay, I agree with that move. Right. I believe with the move to stop the payments. And the reason for that is because I see. So theme park in New England says no new rides at Six Flags next year. I hope they add some new shows. Or no, I could see them. I could see them doing that because a show or a haunt is cheaper than a ride. You could spend minimal money on doing a haunt versus a new flat or a new water slide or whatever. The reason why I say that is what do you call it? You can, as long as you're not like buying like Spirit Halloween animatronics and putting them in there, you could do okay. You could get a lot of, I've gotten props from, Spirit Halloween and it was okay. But they're crappy animatronics. No, if you're going to open a haunted house, if I ever find out when you guys open a haunted house and put Spirit Halloween animatronics, I'm going to beat your face in. Don't do it. If you're going to do a home haunt, that's okay. Like I said, that's okay. If you're doing a home haunt, that's okay. Because somebody building a home haunt, they don't got crazy thousands to spend. You're going to go get some crappy skeletons. You're going to buy an animatronic or two, make a crappy little yard haunt like I used to do, and have fun with it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not, haunts are not supposed to, do that. Anyone that is complaining about Six Flags not stopping the payments, don't get that. Six Flags is high up for money versus Cedar Fair they have saved. Yeah, that's the problem. Six Flags was spending too much time doing buybacks and dividends and crazy, doing all this stuff. And the weird thing is they weren't spending big money. They were worried about buying back their stock. And the companies that out there right now that didn't go buy back all their stock, I mean, everybody's struggling. I mean, we shut our company down. Nobody's getting paid. Everybody's laid off. Nobody's working. You know what I'm saying? So, and then once it gets better, we'll reopen. I'm not worried about that aspect in myself. I got money in the bank. Personally, I saved money. Good thing I sold pinball machines when I did, because then I got a nice little piggy bank of money. Same thing with the company. I saved the money by not operating, owning, operating anything. So if you save some money, and you only got to pay out, we only have to pay out very little for, while we're out. So, and then we'll just pick back up and go. Because I know the second that we're open and can work, the rest of my year is going to be busy as crazy. Like, we're going to have to hire people and everything. We already got a whole bunch of stuff. Six Flags spent over $1 billion on buybacks since bankruptcy. And they keep adding more and more debt. They need to, I get it that you want to buy back and get the debt gone. But the way that they're doing it is all wrong. All wrong. I mean, in my mind, like you want to pay down your debt. You want to pay that off as best as you can. I don't know if the best way to do that is by buybacks. I don't know, whatever. Because, they were like, what? I don't know how much the debt was when they went into bankruptcy. $4 billion, $2 billion, whatever it was. Could have been more. I don't remember. And they're at what? Let me look this up real quick. All right, so as of the fourth quarter, Six Flags has $2.26 billion in long-term debt, $113.3 million in interest expenses, and $179 million in net income for the full year of 2019. The long-term debt has soared to pre-bankruptcy levels, while net income is around $100 million less than when the company went belly up in 2009. So they gotta figure something out. How they're gonna have to whatever. I don't know what that is. Yeah, see, I'm looking at this article. In February 2018, they were at $1.94 billion in debt. So who the hell knows? It's crazy. Like, the whole thing is crazy. I don't get it, but it's crazy. Yeah, so if they don't do something by the time 2024 rolls around, they'll be bankrupt again. Instead of 10 years later, it's what? 5 years later, 15 years. They just need to, what they need to concentrate on is paying down the debt, forget the buybacks, and that's what you need to do. Spend money to make money. Yeah, but see, I would hate. See, in my company, I don't take out loans or anything. I only spend what I got coming in. I refuse to get. Unless I really need one. Like, we decided the small business loan during this time isn't worth the money. It's really not worth it. You only get 8. If you took out, my father gave me the example. If I took a $100,000 loan out for the 2 years, only 8 weeks of certain expenses get forgiven. You're on the hook for the rest, and then the payments were like $3,000 or $4,000 a month. And I'm like, I don't want to spend $3,000 or $4,000 a month on this money. I don't. So I'm just like, I'm just a cheap ass. Like, I just try to, I make sure we have enough work for everybody, enough to keep the business going, and we just keep trying to grow and grow and grow, and that's what we do. We just keep doing the thing to keep growing and just keep working that way. And we do a good thing. For being a small company, we do all right. I got no complaints. So, if I can think like that, and I know my business is totally different than an amusement park, but if I was the one that was taken over, I wouldn't give two craps about, and that's probably why I wouldn't be a CEO, but I wouldn't be necessarily worried so much about a stock buyback at the moment. I'd be working on trying to figure out how to draw people into the parks, fixing the parks, getting some good, unique, attraction shows, festivals, whatever, different things. And I would also work on paying the debt down. And I know, what do you call it? Shareholders probably wouldn't like that plan. You know what I mean? Like I said, my belief is split. You just take all the parks, water parks, every park that they have. If you're not going to sell them and you're going to keep them, split it in half. 1 year, this half gets something. The next year, the other half doesn't. The ones that aren't getting anything. When I mean you're not getting no shows, no nothing. You're just going to get a maintenance year, a less amount of money to, they actually borrowed $500 million in 2017 to buy back stock. Yeah, that's pretty stupid. I would never. I would have just kept doing what I had to do to keep it. I know they were trying to get. I think part of that was trying to get rid of certain shareholders. You're buying back stock from people, and you're trying to get rid of that old debt, so to speak, is what I call it, and try to get rid of it. While they might be in a better position than they were back then, I still think more could be done. They need to stop buybacks. I wouldn't do buybacks for a while. I would just work on just paying the debt off. I like to see. I mean, you're always gonna have debt. There's no way to get out of debt. When you know what I mean. Like think about as a person, you got credit card debt, mortgage debt, whatever debt. Same thing with a company, mortgages. You got credit cards, credit, whatever it is. You're always gonna have expenses and et cetera, to keep your business going. The way Six Flags does it, they cheapen themselves, and they have less of a margin. It feels that way. Like with all their programs with dining plans and memberships and this and that and nickel and diamond and parking and all this other crap that costs all this kinds of money. And then you're like, your margins of profit are tiny. And it makes you almost like, why would you get in the business if you're not making money? I mean, people are looking at like, oh, look what Disney does. And they're making billions and billions and billions of dollars. Well, unless you got billions to spend, you ain't going to be making billions and billions and billions. I mean, everybody can do a different way. Everybody has a different way of running a company and what they feel is right and what they feel is wrong. I can only tell you, based on my experience for the last, how long? Like 13 years that I've worked at the company, running a company. I would say the last 10 years. Yeah. Again, like I said, it's just a crazy. Yeah, I mean, Cedar Fair took on what I would call the right debt. You're taking on the debt to build that kind of stuff. Buy Schlitterbahn, buy resorts and the hotels that produce. Yeah, Six Flags was taking on debt for stock buyback. That's crazy. Well, guess what? I'm sure that they see, obviously, the way that I look at this is hopefully, probably not, that they've learned somewhat of a lesson to go, okay, we can't be doing this buyback thing. We can't be borrowing money to buy back stock. We can't do that. But they gotta somehow increase their spending to a point where it's going to generate revenue, whatever that is. I feel the clone thing, and I get why they do it. Some of it's a hit, some of it's not with the general public, with the average park goer. I mean, when I look at all the stuff that Six Flags has put out since 2000, when they came out of bankruptcy, There was some great things that were coming out, and then they got cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Oh, yeah, I seen that. Well, I don't know about, tonight it starts in what, 10, 20 minutes or something? Whatever it is, and I'll watch whatever later. But I did see that it was Rob Gronkowski. I told you it was. I knew it was. I called that day one. Charles, I don't necessarily think they're going to sell. Well, the ones that they added are leased. They don't technically own. So they just lease. You know what I mean? They're running it for them. They lease the park. So honestly, if I was them, I would have never done that. I would have never got those parks. If I was the CEO at that time, I would have never did that. Let's see. Greg says, I'd honestly be willing to pay a separate admission to get into our water park like Great Adventure does to help them recover some costs for our park. Your thoughts on this? Me, I wouldn't. Just because I don't go in the water park enough to warrant me to want to do that. Would I pay enough already on my membership? I'm okay with. It depends on the year. Sometimes I go a lot. Sometimes, like last year, I went like once or twice to the water park. I didn't go a lot last year, for whatever reason. But, in the year before that, I went a lot. So I feel, that could be good for people that want to, figure that out. No, right now they're going to be open. Frontier City and all them. Once they can open the parks, they're going to open the parks. And, unless they get rid of the parks, but I don't see them doing that right away. I really don't see them dropping Frontier City or Darien Lake or any of that. I don't see that happening. Excuse me. I don't. It's cheaper to run that park than the regular parks, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. But they got to do. Six Flags has to do something. Because if they don't do something, they're just going to be bankrupt, and then somebody's going to scoop them up on a cheap, and then probably start selling off parks, keeping what they want, moving rides around, closing them permanently, ripping rides out, spreading them around, scrapping them for metal, whatever. That could be a possibility. You got to watch out with the people, especially right now is a time where all companies have to be cautious. All right, so as long as they don't get the, total... if they're getting bankrupt, they can get out of them leases. They can be like, oh, we ain't got the money, sorry. They can get out of a lease. They did that with Kentucky Kingdom, and they got out of New Orleans. But who knows? Yeah, what do you call it? Rob Gronkowski is everywhere. See, a lot of people outside of New England don't really know what Gronkowski sounded like. See, the Dead Giveaway one, his little dance moves he does, but his voice, I know that voice because he was doing Dunkin' Donut commercials with Big Papi from the Red Sox. They were making songs, singing, rapping, whatever, and I'm like, oh, okay. There is exceptions. I saw. We don't know what the exception is, and it also depends on whatever they're, how many people to a construction site for Jersey Devil. If it fits underneath the amount of people, I'm sure they can keep going. There's no mass amount of people. I don't know how many people are on the work site doing Jersey Devil. You figure there's one in the crane and one or two up top. There's probably a couple around, making sure everything's on the up and up, as they're building, when they're welding it in and all that, and putting it in place. they could, they might fit the threshold and it might be okay. I don't know. I'm not from around there. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what's going on at Six Flags New England. I did see something cool that I can't publicly talk about. We're not allowed to post it that we got today, so we can't post it. It's something cool, but I can't talk about it yet. To do with Six Flags New England, I can't. I cannot publicly talk about it. Yeah, that's why I feel like when, what do you call it? Jessica's mom's closing on her house is the 20th, I think, of this month. And then as soon as that's done, I guess we can get the permits online, I guess. I don't know about that, but then right now I should be able to still have construction done because it's really only going to be 4 guys working. So they're going to dig the hole for the foundation, dig the hole for the pool, cement the foundation, cement the pool, and then build her addition on the house. So there's that. Yeah, so again, I don't know what's going on. I know Kyle that lives down there that's been taking most of them photos and sending them out to like Costa Crew and stuff like that. He lives near the park, so he always drives around when he's not supposed to, and whatever. He goes, hangs out where he can see it, and he takes pictures of any construction going on. So if he can see stuff, he'll drop the photos. He'll keep doing it. I mean, I can't go to Six Flags New England. That's what, an hour and 15, hour and 20 minute away. I don't want to deal with driving on the highway and then coming back, probably getting pulled over, telling me I'm quarantined or whatever. So, I'll just, what do you call it? I'll just hang tight until I'm allowed to go out, What the parks, I can't wait for that day when them parks open. I know we've talked about it a bunch, but think about this when the park opens. I hope everybody and their mama is like YouTubing it and Facebook Living it and whatever. Like they're at the park gate, let us in, little chinny chin chin, kind of thing. It'll be cool. I just hope everybody and their mother picked up their phone and was like, let us in, like opening day. Like, come on. If only they were 2 weeks quicker, they might be able to persuade them more to work 24/7 or extend to Monday or Tuesday. Tell Miss Lily I say hello and I can't wait to see her again. Yeah, I miss seeing Lily. Well, soon enough, we're all of us are gonna be hanging out and killing each other anyway. It's soon enough we're gonna be hanging out. So tell Miss Lily there that she'll see us soon. She will. Yeah, I don't think much. I know there's some stuff going on just by what I found out today. About Six Flags. So, the only person that knows, well, I know, and like the person who told me knows, and then the other person that told me knows, and then I showed Jessica, so that was cool. I was like, ooh, look at this. So that was cool. Oh, you know what? I could tease you mofos right now. Watch what I want to do. Watch this. You guys want to be teased real quick? Like, this is going to be so quick. Like, so quick. Ready? Pay attention. This is going to be so quick, and then it's going to be gone. Like, it's going to be like, whew, it's going to be a flash. Are you guys ready for a flash? Ready? That was too quick. That's it. That's all I'm showing you. That's all I can show you. I can't show you nothing else. Hopefully you paid attention. Hopefully you paid attention. And no matter what you put in the comments, I'm not going to deny, or I'm just going to go, I don't even put anything about what you think it is, because I ain't going to tell you what it is. I cannot publicly say anything, so nobody's supposed to know what I just showed you. And Charles, to your question, yes. No, it's not. I can tell you it's got... I'll just say you're wrong. But, yeah, like I said, I can't really... I can't physically say what it is, and I can't just sit there and show it. I just could flash it. I mean, the first flash was like, whoosh, whoosh. No, I gave the little tease. You know, it's not anything. I mean, it's something that people will love. It's not anything like a new attraction or anything like that. It's just something in the park that when people see it, they're going to be like, oh, you know, it's going to be one of those. They're going to be like, oh, you know, and they're going to love it. And so, you know, but like I said, I'm not going to tell anybody. You'll find out hopefully you find out on opening day. You know, like I said, it was a flash in the pan, enough to give you a little bit of a, you know, like a little teaser, but it's nothing that really gives it away, because just that little flash, which you think it is, isn't what you think it is. Trust me when I tell you. Trust and believe it's not what you think it is. Yeah, breaking and entering it is. You know, so it's like, you know, it is what it is. We'll find out. You know, things are going to be happening. We just have to get through this crazy virus thing. You know, we're waiting on tests to come back either positive or negative in this house. My parents had the test done the other day. Let me see. This I could. What I'm going to show you, I could show you. This is going to do at a park. Where's my dad's text? Because I was laughing. This is my dad and my mom. Oh, hang on. You can't really... It's like too bright. But anyway, that's them. They got masks on. You can't really see. I'm trying to see if there's a... Oops. Yeah, they got masks on. I guess you can kind of tell. So, they had... See, I don't know how many of you know what... I don't know if how many of you know what CVS Pharmacy is. I know people from New England know, but people outside of New England probably might not know. You might know. So there's this thing where if you have symptoms or have been exposed, you can call up CVS, and they set up this makeshift testing facility outside the Twin River Casino in Lincoln, Rhode Island. So they went, but you have to do the swab yourself. They don't, but there's military everywhere and all this other stuff. And then you find out like 30, 40 minutes later, your test results. So they did it. They stuck the swabs up their nose and gave it to the people. And then you stay in your car. You don't leave your car. And then you go in the parking lot. And then I don't know, I forgot my files. I don't know if they text you or they walk up to your car or whatever. And then they tell you your results. They both came back negative, so that's good. We're waiting on Jessica's mom, waiting on Alyssa to find out what their results are, and then we'll find out. We still haven't got any results from anybody, and poor Devin has been quarantined here, and not real quarantine, like I only go to Dunkin' drive-through, but Dunkin' Donuts announced today that they're going to work with Grubhub so that Dunkin' will deliver. Tell me that ain't awesome. Uh, so yeah, so that's and I did go to Target. I mean, I have no symptoms, no fever. I checked. Jessica has the temperature fever thing on the head thing. You know, you put on your head. Uh, we all check our head a couple times a day. Nothing wrong. You know, nobody has a fever. Nobody's nothing. So no symptoms. Nobody's sick. Nobody's nothing. Oh, and then just Alyssa's pretty good. She's not really that bad. Uh, Jessica's mom, it's up and down. But Charles, I told you the crazy story of things going on there. So, and the plot keeps thickening over there at her work. So it is what it is. We'll deal with it. You know, we'll deal with the punches as they come in. What was the thing I was gonna say? And then I stopped. I forgot. It probably wasn't that important. I hate that. When the thought, you start talking, you change your thing. I don't remember what it was. I think it must not have been important. Oh yeah, Marcus told me that yesterday. They're screening people at the border. I mean, all we have to do is just, unfortunately, hunker down, deal what we got to deal with, and eventually it'll be over. I mean, most company. I mean, you guys probably heard about AMC being movie theaters are probably not gonna reopen. They're probably gonna go bankrupt. But then I seen a thing saying that the movie studios might come to the rescue and save them. Companies are gonna be screwed, man. Companies are gonna be screwed. So just like I said, support your businesses. That you shop at, especially local mom and pops if you can. I'm not saying there's a lot out there because a lot of them are just going, screw this, I'm done, I ain't dealing with it. A lot of places just closed up shop all over the country. Like, yep, I'm done. I'm not dealing with it. I'm out. They closed for good. Yeah, it's crazy out there. So again, like I said, I can't tell you. I mean, we can all try and predict when something's going to happen, but nobody knew. I think as the data comes out, we're finding, I mean, especially after today, yeah, check your head. Or, I don't know how many of you, I'm sure a lot of you know who the Wu-Tang Clan is. They had, you know how they had a lot of side groups and stuff? They had one called the Grave Diggers. They don't do anything. They haven't, I don't even think Wu-Tang Clan has done anything in forever. But they had a song called Bang Your Head, and they were just like, the beat's like, brr, 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 bang your head, bang your head. You know. Oh yeah, the Japan studio still own theaters. Yeah, because there's a law or whatever rule that movie studios cannot own theaters because this podcast I watch, John Campia, about movies. I watch every once in a while, and I saw this thing pop up from him about that, and yeah, family owned parks. Some of them that like on a place like Knobles will be okay, but like maybe something like a ZDTs might be in trouble. Maybe not. I don't know. It all depends. But the mom and pop places, they're gonna need more help than the big places. So, but yeah. So the rule is that they're afraid of, like say Disney bought AMC, and then they'd be like, oh, we're only gonna show Disney movies. So that's why they were just like, nope. Yeah, here. Yeah, I don't care about that. I'd go to site. I'm looking at the thing. So 1948, the Hollywood antitrust case in 1948. Paramount case, Paramount decision of the Paramount decree, United States Supreme Court that decided that the fate of the film studios owning their own theaters and holding exclusive rights on which theaters would show their movies would also change the way Hollywood movies were produced, distributed, and exhibited. Yeah, so basically what I just said. So, Canopy, I think, is going to be fine. Someone like Funtown, Splashtown, that might be one to get sucked up by somebody. I don't think they would close it all together. I just think that somebody would probably suck it up and buy it. You know what I mean? I think the family that owns it, or the family, I think they would just sell it to someone. It's not going to cost a whole lot of money to buy that park. It's small. It's probably not. You'd be lucky if that thing's worth $50 million. Let me check. I'm gonna see. Let's see. I'm gonna Google that. Let's see. How much is Funtown Splashtown worth? I don't know where you find that out. It doesn't say. Maybe they don't release that kind of number. Maybe. I'm just trying to see if they show like yeah, there's no. Yeah, I don't know how you find out the net worth. You know who I used to think had like the best album covers when I was a kid, like a teenager and a kid, was Iron Maiden. Couldn't stand the music, but I used to love the artwork of Iron Maiden. I remember when the pinball machine came out like a year ago, 2 years ago. And the artwork on that pinball machine is I looked on Wikipedia, Larry, and it doesn't show. I mean, on a quick browse, it doesn't show the net worth. Like, what is. Unless I'm not seeing something. They got 2 roller coasters, 20 water slides, 2 pools, 25 rides. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about like what it's worth. I have to do some digging. They might not report that because I think that's a family-owned place, so they might not even disclose that kind of information. /////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////////// What? What's the 21503? Is that what it's worth? 21 million? 2 million? 2 billion? 215 million? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's worth. But again, somebody could probably eat it up, but buy it for cheap. To buy that park. It's not a huge park at all. They got a little bit of land that they can build on to add some stuff. I mean, for what that park does, I guess the family's happy where they're at with stuff. But again, this is like this is a new territory for the entire world. It's not like just this country's going through it. The entire world is going through this, and the economy is getting ripped to shreds. So all the theme parks, everybody's going, I don't know what to do. Just throw a dart at the board, and that's what's going to happen. Like, nobody knows. So it's like, what do you do? That's why I think at the end of the day, this is going to cost this country crazy trillions. Like, what are they spending at? Like $6 trillion now that they've just based off of this virus, they've pumped into they're pumping into the economy. And I know there's another bill coming forward on Friday for more money. And then there's going to be another stimulus bill to help the economy get going once we reopen. So this thing's going to cost 20-30 trillion dollars by the time just this. We're going to be 10 plus trillion dollars added. Yeah, 19, what was it, 1918, 17, the Spanish flu there. So, and now, I mean, we're not totally with worries. Oh, we still got the Iraq crap going on, but now, it's technically considered peacetime, I guess. And with this going on, it's going to cost all these countries in the whole world crazy amount of money. There's even, I seen this thing going around, a civil lawsuit or whatever against China for the virus coming out and causing all this. People lost jobs. They said the unemployment rate's gonna hit like 30%. I think it's at 13% right now. But again, it's gonna take a little bit, and people are gonna get rehired. It's just gonna take a little bit once everything starts. So we just gotta dig through it. I think they'll have something in place to help people in businesses like mine and people like me that are laid off because of this virus, and everybody that, people that are laid off because of this. It's just, like I said, just be a human. Don't be an ass. Be good to each other. Help each other out where you can. I'm not going to be a preacher and preach to you, but at this time, people are going to need help across the board. Big business, little business, rich people are going to be rich, and they're going to get richer. Who knows? We could see another, drop in the stock market. I don't know. I mean, if you're buying stock, be careful. If you buy and there's a sell-off and it's crashing again, just hold off. Eventually it's going to go back. I mean, the stock market was up, today, yesterday, this week has been good for stocks, I guess. Let's see. I want to just see. What is it? All right, so Six Flags stock is now at $14.28. Well, I mean, $14.29. It went below. It went as low as, what was that, $13.28 today, and went up. Now, let me see. I want to look up. Let's see. Cedar Fair stock is at $18.28. It was down 34 cents. But after hours, it's up 22 cents to $18.50. So, who the hell? This is crazy. I don't like that after hours crap. Let me just see. I want to see what Disney stock is at. Well, it's still at, what was their high? Wow, 153. Their stock's at $101.07. Well, Disney Plus has more than 50 million subscribers now. Well, that's cool. Good for them. Good for them. Good for them. Matter of fact, after hours trading is $108.08. It's up $7.01 and 6.9. I hate, like I said, I'm not a fan of that after hours garbage. I'm not a fan of it at all. Yeah, I was gonna say that, Charles. For those that are ACE members and you got your you got the email today, the ACE election nominations ended today. You can still do write-ins, and please do not write me in because I do not want it, and I know I wouldn't win anyway. What do you call it? So the current president is running unopposed. The secretary and the money person there, the treasurer, are running unopposed. The only position that is actually running is what do you call it? Vice president, the current one, and some other guy I never even heard of. are going to battle it out. I'm so glad I ain't going to deal with that. Let me tell you, if anybody out there is smart, don't ever bother. What I went through, don't even bother. I mean, and I was even talking to Jess about that today. I'm like, I got no sour grapes. I'm like, the people voted. They didn't want me. They didn't like me, my style, what I had to say, what I was about. I'm not known. I'm okay with that. Like, I have no hatred towards anybody for that. I actually thank you all for not voting for me. Whoever didn't, you know what I mean? When I ran in 2000, thank you for not voting me in. I actually appreciate that you did not vote me in. For those that voted against me, I am thrilled to death. Besides, even the current president doesn't even want to be president. He told me that at ACE, at what do you call it, IAPA. He's like, oh, I wish you won. This is bullshit. So, again, that's why I saw, once my 3 years is up, I am done. Not because of that, my other situation that I had, that, why I can't really be part of it, you know, why I don't want to be. So, again, it is what it is. Like, don't vote for people. I don't care. I'm just glad I don't have to deal with it. It was the worst. It was a nightmare. Like, I get it. You got to have thick skin. I got thick skin, but it was beyond the thick skin. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, it was beyond, like, people in that group are nasty. Yeah, I'm not all that familiar with buying stock. I mean, I used to help, like I said before, I used to help my father with GE stock back in the day. Oh, that's not bad. My father's still working on the loan. Um, here's the problem that I have with Coaster Groups. I talk to, I mean, I'm not afraid to admit anything. I talk to the guy that runs Coaster Crew. Once in a blue moon, I talk to Rob Alvey. You know, like questions and stuff. I don't, when I talk to a lot of the people, the people that are smart realize this, that parks do not need coaster clubs. They don't need them. I'll give you an example. Back in the day, yes, they were very highly coveted and needed. You know, before like YouTube blew up and everybody and their mother's got a YouTube page. Everybody and their mother's got a fan site. You know what I mean? The parks work more with fan sites than they do coaster clubs. Now, if you're a good coaster club and you respect the parks and you understand that nothing is expected and everything's appreciated because they don't have to do nothing for you, those are the clubs that'll stick around. The ones that are not really that appreciative, and you can tell, like if you're behind the scenes with stuff, you, like I was, you know how things work. You see how things work. I saw a lot of stuff. If someone sends you a link, you get a free stock. And you do it when you first add funds. So, if you look at places like Kings Island, Cedar Point, and so on and so forth, and more parks are doing their own events. Yes, they're inviting and saying, hey, you're going to be a member of a coaster club. They just don't want every Tom, Dick, and Harry in there. But eventually that's going to change. Eventually it will change. Especially like you look at what Six Flags does, right? Six Flags, what they do when it comes to like their member events, well, they're not like the most amazing events, but they're still fun. They're still worth it. You know, you're still getting ERT. You're still getting stuff. You might not get a full-blown event like you do with a coaster club, but, you know, don't get me wrong. There are some great perks with what do you call it? Being in a coaster. There are. I will not deny that. I mean, most of the people that are in this I've met through Ace. Comment to Jay's comment. Oh, okay. There are some great perks. Just about everybody in here that I physically met face to face was because of an Ace event. I will not deny that. I will not take that away from my life, no matter what beef or whatever I got going on, and you know, behind the scene. I will not take that away from what I've experienced, who I experienced with. I will never take that away. I will never deny that to my life. That's wrong. You don't do that. All right, so yeah, like I said, it all depends on what the park wants to do. So Lindsay's saying Kentucky Kingdom was planning on doing keys to the kingdom. There was no Coaster Club wall on that. So, again, it like I said, it's based on whatever they want to do. So eventually, being part of a Coaster Club is going to be no different than having a group outing at a park. Those days are numbered. You know, yeah, you look at Hollywood Nights. I would love to do that event sometime, and I think next year I'm going to do that. I'm just going to roll the dice and go. And I love Holiday World. Like, if you've never been to Holiday World, you need to go. It's just this neat little park. It's fun. They got some great rides, some great coasters. It's a fun place. You need to go if you've never been there. I know it's out in Indiana, but trust me, it's worth getting there. It's a really nice place. I enjoy it. I don't know about you guys that have been there, but I like it. So it's definitely worth going. You know. So again, for those that whatever it is, and what you do was what you do. I just like to double check to make sure that there's something like somebody on Facebook didn't say or something. I haven't seen anybody mention anything on Facebook. That's fine. Yeah. Again, and the other thing that I wanted to talk about, speaking of Ace, the pricing came out for CoasterCon. I flipped when I seen this, and people are trying to argue for it, and I'm just like, no. Where is annual reports, return, history, contact, coastercon.com. Where the hell? Hang on, let me look at this real quick. I need to do something. Because when I seen it, and I was just like, what? I was like, what is this? Like, why, hang on a second here. All right, so hang on. Where is it? I gotta look up, because like people are like da 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 da, and I saw. Okay, let's see. I'm looking. Hang on. Give me a second. Yeah, I don't care about that. People were talking about it. Oh, you know why? Hang on. I think this is where it. Hang on, give me a second. I think I seen it. Hang on. Where the hell is it? Oh, okay, here we go. I found it. Okay. right, so okay. All right, so this is what you're gonna receive for it. So I figured. If you're going to CoasterCon, this is what you can expect. So it says this is what you're going to receive: admission to 4 parks, 7 meals and snacks galore, 12 ERT sessions, which they said equals 16.5 hours, behind the scenes tours, and more. So everybody knows that CoasterCon is at Hershey Park, Dorney Park, Knoebels, and Dutch Wonderland. Right, we all know that. Plus, there's a stop over at the PTC, building, where they are. Okay, hang on. Let me go back up to the top here because I know there's, let's see, the schedule. So Sunday, June 21st, which would be Father's Day. You go to, Hershey Park or, do thing. It's at the Red Lion Hotel, Harrisburg, Hershey, Capitol Ballroom, East and West for the general store. You could do all your check-ins. You do your check-in, it says the Ace Lounge with complimentary beverages, photo contest, kissing tower, catering. That's to be announced. A lot of this stuff, nothing's official until you get your stuff. From 6 to 8 is the welcome dinner with buffet. Blah, blah, blah. You get ERT at night from 10:30 to midnight on Candemonium, Comet, Great Beer, Carousel, Starship America, or Tilt-A-Whirl. Snacks served in hollow pizza. Then Monday, there's a salon, behind the scenes tours and priority seating for entertainment, Reese's Cup Fusion Contest, check-in for late arrivals from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Rides to be included, but not limited to Candemonium, Comet, Sky Rush, Super Duper Looper, Carousel, Reese's Cup Fusion, Tentative, Scrambler, Starship America, Tilt-A-Whirl, and Wave Swinger. You get the idea. There's a whole bunch of... I'm not going to try and sell you on it. If you're going to go, you're going to go. Let me see where it says register. Okay, this is where it gets crazy and ridiculous. I'll tell you that in a second. Well, John, they're not going to change the dates. If they have to change the dates, they're canceling it. They're going to decide May or June or something. Well, May, if they're going to cancel it on. Anyway, so if you have no season passes, because there's a discount for Hershey, Cedar Fair Platinum, Dorney Pass, and a Dutch Wonderland Pass. So if you got those 3 passes, you can get... $155 off the price. But if you have no passes like me, it will cost you $380. Now, before you go, woo, it's like what, 6-7 days? So you got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So technically there's 7 days. Sunday to Saturday. So it's $380 for everything that's included. For that thing. Oh, from 1:30 to 3 p.m. on, what day is that? Thursday at Dorney Park. Halloween Haunt Maze Blood on the Bayou will be open exclusively to Ace for a Lights On tour. I already have the King's Dominion version. Ooh, I want to see what tours they got. They don't say any tours. So, all right, but if you happen to have any discounts, Hershey Park gets you a $95 discount. Dorney gets you $35 for the platinum. And Dutch Wonderland gets you $25 off. How CoasterCon works is like this. So if you want to attend CoasterCon, I mean, if you're going to attend CoasterCon, that is the event of the year that you would go. You get the most crazy stuff out of it. The banquet is extra. It's $53. I recommend not doing the banquet. It's a bunch of snobby people dressed up, acting like a bunch of assholes, and it's not cool. Especially what I went through at the banquet in 2018, the way I was treated. No more banquet for me. You can buy a CoasterCon t-shirt for small to extra large is 19, 2X and 3X is 22. The colors are chocolate brown and teal blue. You can buy, they do a rubber ducky regatta in one of the water parks where they race little rubber duckies in a lazy river. And whoever, whatever one gets to the finish line first, you win. I feel it's stupid, but that's me. So the way CoasterCon works is you go and you check it at the hotel. You get a package full of crap. Your badge, any wristbands, any meal tickets, whatever. You're gonna get everything at that one time. Boom, you're gonna get everything. So I'll just quickly go through some like I was doing before. So you're getting ERT, you're getting snacks. So snacks are included, meals are included, but you're only getting one meal a day. It used to be two. So, but they do contests. They do Midway Olympics. We play midway games, and you win medals and stuff like that. So you get ERT during the day. You get ERT at night, and some of it between places. Yeah. So like on the Wednesday, you go to Dorney Park during the day for ERT, and then in the afternoon you go to PTC for a tour of the facility. And then you go back if you're doing the rubber ducky regatta for 8 o'clock in the water park. And then from 9:30 to 11 is ERT on Hydra, Possessed, Steel Force, Talon, Thunderhawk, Wild Mouse, Woodstock Express, and Demon Drop. I mean, if I was going to do CoasterCon, I'd be going by myself. I would not be taking the kids. I'm not spending $380 on that. I feel regardless... This is my opinion, and I know some people might not agree with it. Some people may... I mean, realistically, where can you go? Whatever they're talking about wedding... I mean, the Masked Singer upstairs is kind of funny. Whatever... where can you go on vacation for $380 for a full week to get you admissions, meals, ERT... That's for the whole week. The problem is we're used to a lot cheap. I know prices go up over time. I forgot what we paid in 2018 to do the Virginia one. I don't think it was anywhere. Nah, it wasn't because I took the two boys. If it was going to be $380, I wouldn't have took the two boys with me. I would not have. I would have been like, screw that. I mean, it was probably close. It was probably like $220 or something a person. But like, put it this way. When we went in 2018 and what we got and what we paid, we all went, what did we pay for? What did we pay for? So, see, the problem was we got spoiled because of Paul Blick. I don't know how many of you remember Paul Blick. He was the national events director. A lot of people hate him, pushed him out. They didn't like him for whatever their reasons were. I know a lot of crap, but I'm not going to go into that. I've talked to Paul Blick, and I've talked to people that hate Paul Blick because I wanted to know why. Like, why do you hate this guy? And there's a lot of people who you would, within ACE that hate Paul Blick. But Paul Blick used to fight for a lot of stuff. Private fireworks shows during CoasterCon, drink bottles, all kinds of crazy stuff. Crazy gifts. Like every night when you were leaving the park or whatever, you would get a gift from the park. I mean, it wouldn't be something crazy. Like Dollywood was giving away T-shirts one day. Dollywood was giving away a whole bunch of pins. They were giving away leather bracelets, whatever. That helicopter video that I posted today, that was during CoasterCon when it was in 2013 at Six Flags New England. What they did for people to get the helicopter, this was like a weird thing. I think it was set up. Honestly, I think it was. Just because I was live streaming back then, and I was live streaming. If you look at the booklet from the business meeting, I was mentioning it by streaming a whole bunch of stuff during that time for ACE that I was doing on the Ustream channel. Regardless, so opening night, when you walked in for the dinner, for the opening ceremony for the dinner, they handed everybody an envelope and they said, you cannot open this envelope until we tell you to. No peeking, no nothing. If they caught you, they were like, no. So when they told you to, you opened it up and there was different experiences inside these envelopes. A bunch of people got helicopter rides. A bunch of, like, all kids got Cold Stone Creamery, make your own ice cream with, a worker. You would go into Cold Stone Creamery and they would show you how to make it. You could make it and then you got to eat it. They did maintenance mode on Scream, on the drop tower. So, and they were duct taping cameras to people and you could go and you go in maintenance mode up the top. They'd stop it so you could take pictures and video and stuff and then you come down. There was, what else? There was something else. Oh, you could get, I forgot. There was a couple other little things that were kind of, Oh, there was the Houdini tour was one of them. And there was something else. I forgot what it was. But I got a helicopter ride. Devin, obviously, I took Devin with me. Devin got the ice cream thing. So, yeah, I mean, it was neat. It was cool. Whatever. So, I got to experience that. And then, that's where they used to do concerts back in the day over there. That stage was always set up, so they didn't have to keep setting it up, break it down, set it up, break it down. When Six Flags was doing concerts, that's where they were held, in the picnic grove over there on that huge stage. But as you can see, if you watch the video, you see it as Bizarro, not as Superman. And you can see how the park, and matter of fact, you would see Cyclone, not Wicked Cyclone. Because all it did was the helicopter was landing in the grass in the picnic grove, and then it would take back off. They would come in with a group. You could only do 3 people at a time. They had the pilot, and then they would take 3 people. It would go, and all it did was it went along the river. It just went around the perimeter of the park, and it would just land, and then would come back to the thing. And I figured out, I kept watching how they were taking off, so I just picked my seat. I didn't take the front. I took the back seat, but on the right-hand side. And that was the best seat for video and pictures and stuff. So that's what I did. I made sure I got... Oh, because I was with one of our friends and she wanted the front seat. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm taking the seat behind her. So that's what I did. See, I'm a nice guy. I let the lady... I let the lady have the front seat with the pilot. Ladies first. But I was in the back seat and it was cool. And plus that was the first and only time I've ever been in a helicopter. Thankfully, didn't crash. Because I was always wondering if it was going to crash on me. I really thought, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be the one that I'm going to get in and this thing's going to crash on me. I kept thinking that the whole ride. I'm like, well, at least if I die in a helicopter crash, it's going to be at Six Flags New England, so I'm okay with that. But that didn't happen. I'm okay. So again, there's weird things that used to happen, but they won't do that no more. There's a rule within ACE that I found out, and that's why I'm kind of against the way that it's run now. I can understand if you're paying. You know what? I think I'll get to your comment in a second. I got to get the ACE thought in my head. Just because I've been behind the scenes and I know how it is, and I have no problem pulling the rug out from everybody and letting everybody know the inside workings. Just because, what are they going to do? Threaten with kicking me out? What the hell do I care? I don't want to be there. Just give me my money back. The point being is, public used to fight and negotiate to get you what you got. So we got spoiled. Yep. Be safe and make sure you look up the Royal Caribbean Wash Your Hands song. There's a whole song when you go on the Royal Caribbean ship. It's like, wash your hands, it's the right thing to do. They talk about going on a ride in the carousel and puking everywhere and all this other stuff. But the rule within ACE, when they're doing events, they do not want any reps going out of their way to get extra things. Even though you pay for them, they didn't want you to do that. They don't want you negotiating. What they want you to do is go, we want to hold this event. What can you do for us and how much is it going to cost? There is no negotiating. There is no asking. The parks know what CoasterCon's about because the parks that have like they already have like whatever years they might have up to 2022, 23 somewhat in the book. Like the parks know that it's going to happen. They haven't announced it. And then what do you call it? So that a representative comes down because when we went to I went to Dollywood CoasterCon in 2012, and then when they were doing not the business meeting, well, it might have been the business meeting, I don't know. I know we were in the theater for something they were doing. I don't know if it was a Q&A or something, and they said they were talking about next year's CoasterCon, and there was representative, management. I think it was Jen Mance was there. I think Jen Mance and somebody else was there from Six Flags New England at the time that went to CoasterCon at, like at Dollywood to see how they did it. And let me tell you, a lot of people that went to, if you went to Dollywood's CoasterCon, you had a great CoasterCon because they had a surprise concert with Dolly Parton. She did like 3 songs and talked to the crowd and all that stuff. Because they had, for those that have been to Dollywood, what they did was where the train does the turnaround to come back down the mountain, inside that grassy area, they set up a stage. They set up, that's where dinner was. And they had, they had some entertainment going on, people singing and doing whatever. And then the black Dolly Parton van came up the hill. You could watch it coming up. And then not so much later, here comes Dolly Parton doing a private concert for us. So a lot of people are like, oh, New England's CoasterCon they got a lot to live up to. But when you look back, like a lot of people from New England didn't want to go. And a lot of them that didn't go kicked themselves in the ass. Because Six Flags New England alone pulled out all the stops. It literally put out a red carpet. The opening dinner was steak, chicken, lobster, all kinds of stuff. They had clam cakes. They had all kinds of crazy food. They had all kinds of crazy events going on. They had breakfast at Johnny Rockets. And I mean, a full-blown awesome breakfast. Devin had a whole paper plate full of bacon that was mounted like this high of bacon, and he ate it all. That was what, 7 years ago? So Devin was 10. Surprised Devin hasn't dropped dead from all that bacon. Like, that was a lot of bacon. But he ate every piece. He ate it all, little fat bastard. Well, actually, now he's like just about 6 feet tall, so maybe the bacon helped him grow. I don't know. So yeah, again, CoasterCon was what I always call, if you're going to pick one event, it's the one you go to. But the more I look at it, yes, prices have to go up. They're not going to be cheap, and I get that. You know what I mean? Those $200 day, $200 CoasterCons, those days are gone. Now you're at $300, and you're almost at $400. They did Disney in 2006, and I think that was $500-600 or something. 400, 500, 600, whatever it was. And you didn't get a whole lot. People were upset with the Disney. People loved it, but they were also upset because you didn't get a lot with it. So, who knows? I mean, I would have loved it. I would have went to that all day. But, again, you got to pick and choose your battles. So, for $380, right? What did I do with it? Like I told you about Sunday at Hershey Park. So you're getting, they're going to do Reese's Cup contests. They're doing all those rides. So then you go to Tuesday, you got Dutch Wonderland at Hershey. So Dutch Wonderland is, in the morning so you're there till 2 o'clock. Then you go back to Hershey. So you're going to get ERT at Dutch for Merlin's Mayhem, Kingdom Coaster, Joust, Skyride, Wonderland Special, Monorail, Turnpike, Trapeze Swings, Bumper Cars, and the Wonder House. Then from noon to 2, you get an all-you-care-to-eat buffet. Includes chicken tenders, corn dog nuggets, macaroni and cheese, applesauce. You get the tosser salad, coleslaw, cookies, fudge brownies, and soft drinks. Presentation from S&S and Great Coasters International. Silent auction and host park plaque presentation. They need to stop with the plaques. It's annoying and it's stupid. Hershey Park. ERT at night. Fahrenheit, Storm Runner, Trailblazer, Frontier Flyers, The Howler, and The Howler. Snacks at Trailblazers Catering. Then Wednesday, you do Dorney. There's complimentary cake and coffee celebrating Whip's 100-year anniversary. ERT on the Whip. Thunderhawk Photo Op Walkback. 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. ERT in the lower level on Possessed, Steel Force, Thunderhawk, Demon Drop, Scrambler, and the Whip. Please advise that season pass holders enter at 9:30 a.m. For select rides. Ace can join, but lower level will be exclusive to Ace. Talon Lift Hill Walk for select winners. Raffle tickets to be sold during CoasterCon group meal prior to Dorney Park visit. Then 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Thunderhawk Landmark Plaque Ceremony. 1 p.m. to 5 for PTC. I told you about the nighttime ERT. Then the Thursday, you're back at Dorney, and for the daytime, you get ERT on the upper level. Hydra, Talon, Wild Mouse, Dodgems, Kaleidoscope. Please be advised, these pads will have access to the upper level starting at 9:30. So for a half hour, you get FUCKED. 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Midway Olympics upper level game area. Then you get a lunch, all you can eat buffet, including teriyaki, grilled chicken, Italian sausage with peppers and onions, baked vegetarian ziti, vegetable medley, tater tots, fruit salad, yummy, yummy, apple crisp, chips, soft drink, silent auction, park speaker, and host park presentation. Then you got the, I told you about the Blood in the Bayou Ace Lights on Tour. From 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. is the banquet. Keynote speaker is Dick Knoble and family. Dinner includes chicken with bruschetta, sliced flank steak with honey sparage glaze, stuffed shells, garlic mashed potatoes, bourbon glazed baby carrots, and assorted desserts. Oh my! You wouldn't catch me there. I would skip that. So Friday, you go to Knoble's behind the scenes tours, activities. 9:30 a.m. to 11 is ERT on Phoenix, Twisted, Downdraft, Pioneer Train, Power Surge, Stratus, Favorite Tornado, coffee, and a breakfast treat. Please note there will be no group meal on Friday. With all the good food choices throughout the park, we thought it would be more fun to offer attendees a $25 gift card so you can sample various food items. Then nighttime ERTs on Flying Turns, Phoenix, Black Diamond, Cosmotron, Flyer, Haunted Mansion, and the Looper. Snacks, ice cream bars served at the round stand. Then Saturday, the final day. In the morning at ERT and Impulse, Cosmos Curves, Bumper Cars, best bumper cars in the world. Grand Carousel, best carousel in the world. Scenic Skyway and the Whipper, snacks served at Cookie Nook. Then there's from 5 to 7 is a farewell dinner. One-time through meal includes a serving of barbecue chicken quarter, meatball sub, 2 pierogies, potato au gratin, corn on the cob, pasta salad, cake slice, unlimited iced tea and soda. And then they're going to do the Midway Olympics winner, the rubber ducky, you're the one for me guy, winner announced. Sound auction and host park plaque presentation. Then 10 to 11:30, your final ERT. Oh my God! The Phoenix Black Diamond with lights on. Antique Cars, Fandango, Haunted Mansion lights on. And Tumbling Timbers. Snack, which is amazing, Tiger Tails at the steakhouse. Tiger Tails are amazing. You know, so again, you get all of that stuff included in the $380. Except some of the stuff, as I said, there's raffle tickets, there's silent auctions. It's a whole week. It's it's really like 6.5 days of parks. Or 6 days, depending upon how you like it. And how you look at it. Now, Ryan Hackman says there's going to be another virus in the fall. Nobody knows. That's pure speculation at this moment. You don't know. The scientists don't know. Nobody knows. If, by chance, by the fall, say the entire world is eradicated, they got it under control, it is gone. It ain't coming back. You know, like, it's a virus. It's not a flu. It's different. Now, it's upper respiratory, whatever. Could it come back? Yes. I'm not saying, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I don't know nothing. I'm not the almighty, all-knowing crystal ball kind of guy. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. What I can tell you is Maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But what I'm hoping is if it does come back, people don't panic. People know just keep going. You're either going to get it or you're not going to get it. You know what I mean? I know I'm going to sound like an ass. Like, I know it's a serious thing. You don't want to get people sick. I get that. Yeah, I know. But the way that they're saying this is totally different. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anything. I mean, people are making some crazy videos. I watched this video. I don't know how much I believe in it. This came from a doctor or a nurse. It was a YouTube video I saw that popped up for whatever reason. And the lady was in the hospital. You could clearly see that wasn't like a set up thing. And she's like, this, this coronavirus is a bunch of BS. She's like, that she was talking about BS, meaning like, like with the stuff on the surfaces that stayed on the, she's like, if that's the case, she goes, she just took something. I'll use this old cookie that nobody ate. Say this old cookie was, she used a plastic thing. Pretend this is plastic. It's a cookie and I'll probably eat it. Pretend it's AIDS, she said. And goes, AIDS is a virus. We all know how it gets contracted. But she goes, this is AIDS and I put it down on the table. I shouldn't be able to touch that because I get AIDS by touching it. Right? Same kind of difference. And the lady's like going, this is a doctor or a nurse. I don't know what she was, but whatever she was. She's like, with all the stuff, like, all the chemicals and everything that's going, as soon as it touches the air, certain temperatures, like extreme heat or extreme cold, should kill the virus. She was doing all the, the big words. And I'm just sitting there going, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, and I don't believe everything I read and everything I see. And nobody else should. You need to do research when you see it to double check on what's going on. Like I said, this could be totally misinformation. I don't know anything about it. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to pretend to be. Well, I pretend to be a serial killer doctor for Dr. Giggles. But other than that, that's just an act. I don't pretend to give out sound medical advice. I wouldn't do that. And Rachel K, yeah, that ACE event, it does sound fun, but the problem is the cost of $380. If you don't have any passes there, that's a hard pill to swallow. When we were, like I said, some of us that have been to, national events prior to Paul Blick leaving, which was 2014, 15, around there, the ACE events were crazy. Like, it was a party. Like, it was amazing. Like, it was amazing. Like, when 2015, when we did the Jersey Con, the Six Flags New Jersey portion of it sucked. It was awful. You know what I mean? But we got to Maurice Pier. The party was on. It was crazy. It was awesome. But, it's just, you know what it is? It's not that it sucked. Because it was people who had never been there before, had the time of their life, and that was good. To me, it was just kind of like doing Riding of the Bull. You know what I'm saying? It was just like doing Riding of the Bull all over again. Just for a couple more. It's like doing the Riding of the Bull for 2 or 3 days. With the same thing, and it was kind of like, But did you stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night? Why would I stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night? I would not stay in a Holiday Inn Express. So again, it is what it is. So you take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, PTC is it is. It's so sad to see. I mean, I noticed PTC was dying off the first time that I went to IAPA. That was 2017. And when you look at all the booths, right? I mean, all booths have a time period of time at IAPA where they're not packed. But the only... Don't you remember those commercials made people experts? No, I don't remember that. But at IAPA, when you looked at PTC's booth, it was the only people they were talking to were like coaster enthusiasts. There wasn't really many like buyers because as new companies are coming out, and you know, PTC doesn't make any more coasters that I know of. They just stick to their trains. So with that, you know, they did something great though to get people with disabilities into the train with that thing for that they can put somebody like in a wheelchair or whatever in there. Yeah, I'm still here. That you could see, you know, they did, you know, but their trains are like tanks and they wreak havoc on the track. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not. PTC really needs to start doing something else before they totally die off, because yes, they're refurbing trains and they're doing stuff. And, you know, they got that new train, you know, like the cool looking new one, but nobody's buying it. Yeah, with RMC and GCI and Gravity Group making their own trains, that really took PTC out the game, man. All they're doing is servicing current parks that still maintain and keep their wooden coasters with the PTC trains on it. But another thing that's happened, that I noticed is, as some of the wood coasters that had PTC, some, you know, there was some other different companies, but that they got the RMC treatment. Then they, you know, they just took the trains and they sent them to other parks that needed the pieces. Because, like, I know Six Flags New England has 2 trains for Thunderbolt, and they only use 1 a year. Usually you always see the one in the top sitting in the brake run. They don't run 2. What they do is they have 1 all refurbished, all done, and it just sits there, and then the next year that one rolls out. The one that they use goes down to, what do you call it? Goes down to PA, and then they refurbish that train. And they use that one. And then they put it back. It goes on the transfer track. Sits there covered. Blah, blah, blah. That's just their process they have for Thunderbolt. They don't run 2 trains anymore. Who made the new Coaster Con? Oh, I think that was GCI. I could be wrong. Somebody, I know, they showed it off at Fun Spot. I forgot, it was either GCI, I think it was GCI. Or it's either GCI or Gravity Group, that I know. It's one of those two. I just don't remember what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, but we'll have to see. They who the hell knows? They were at they got to be at some other Six Flags park. I know they weren't going to trash the trains. They were going to, you know, send them off to whatever. I would too, but you know what? Those coaster cars weigh a ton. You ain't getting them bad boys without like well, you know, you're not moving them. You're not getting a coaster car into a second-story building, because every piece of train gets lifted by a crane. So you're not getting you know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna get that in your house. We'd all love to have a car. I mean, the bumper cars, even without a motor in them, weigh a ton. Well, not literally a ton, but quite a few 100 pounds. So, because remember, Marcus, remember when we left that weird flea market thing, and you went to Six Flags that day when we were together, and then I stopped at that place, that had the amusement park rides there in Mass. They're like the old beat up ones you could buy. Yeah, they're heavy. I was like, there ain't no way I'm going to get this thing in the house, like the bumper car. So I gave up on that, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Just wasn't in the cards, man. Wasn't in the cards. So, anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go watch either Masked Singer or eat something. I don't know. And we'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So if you missed out tonight and you're watching this later, but don't forget, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, we're going to go. We're probably going to do a Planet Coaster episode. So we're going to talk like this. We're going to play some Planet Coaster. And do that. And before I go, I'll answer Alex. Will Coxon. Will Coxon. Will we be wearing face masks when the park reopens? Will the park allow it? Thoughts? I think they will allow it. People are going to be freaked out, and if they told they can't wear their mask, people are going to turn around and walk out that door. I think that's what's going to happen. I think, for the short term anyway, they're going to allow it. If they didn't, they're... I mean, I'll shoot off a message to Jen and see if she answers that. And we'll see if they answer that. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that, Alex. I don't want to say yes or no, and I totally don't want to assume. But assume you can, and I'll work on getting the answer if they're going to allow it. But anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock. If you want to hang out while we're building roller coasters on Planet Coaster and chit chatting about whatever pops up in the news, or help me build the big themed park. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. So, but for those that are watching on Facebook, the way that Planet Coaster is set up, it's not through the same program. It's through a different one. So if you want to watch it, you'll have to watch it on YouTube. Sorry. But I always post a link, and you can watch it that way. The Planet Coaster, I do not believe, I'm going to try, but I do not believe you could stream to 2 different platforms. You might be able to. I don't think so. I'll try. Can't promise, but we'll see. There you go. You can save me a taco. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully tonight helps you just a little bit more, get you through the stir crazy, help you get through this. That's what we do every day, Monday through Friday. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or whatever you want to call it. And until then, everybody, keep on coasting, y'all. Peace.